When we talk about vitamin D3, most people immediately think about sunlight, stronger bones, or immunity. They assume that simply taking a vitamin D supplement is enough to keep their body healthy and their bones strong. But the truth is much deeper and more complex than that. Vitamin D3 is not a solo player. It is part of an intricate biochemical orchestra inside your body. When you take vitamin D3 alone, without its essential cofactors, you can actually create more imbalance than benefit. The key is understanding that vitamin D3 acts like a gatekeeper. It opens a door for calcium absorption from your intestines into your bloodstream. That sounds like a good thing, and it is, but only when that calcium has somewhere to go. If calcium doesn't reach the right destination, such as your bones and teeth, it can end up in the wrong places, your arteries, kidneys, or joints. And that's where the problem begins. When vitamin D3 levels rise, calcium absorption skyrockets. Imagine opening the floodgates and allowing a river of calcium into your bloodstream. Now, calcium is essential, but it's also reactive. It needs direction. If that calcium doesn't get directed properly, it can begin depositing in soft tissues. This process is known as calcification, and it's one of the major hidden contributors to heart disease, kidney stones, and joint stiffness. The very vitamin you thought was protecting you could, ironically, lead to these issues if taken incorrectly. This is because vitamin D3 doesn't tell calcium where to go. It simply increases how much calcium you absorb. It's like hiring more workers without assigning them tasks. Eventually, chaos follows. In fact, studies have shown that people who take high doses of vitamin D without balance often develop calcium buildup in the arteries, which is one of the early signs of atherosclerosis or hardening of the arteries. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly over months or years as small calcium deposits accumulate where they shouldn't. You may not even notice it until symptoms like high blood pressure, fatigue, or chest tightness begin. So the problem isn't vitamin D3 itself, it's the lack of balance in how it's used. That's why understanding its relationship with other nutrients is absolutely vital. Your body treats vitamins and minerals like a team, not as individual players. Vitamin D3 is incredibly powerful. It boosts immune function, supports mood, and strengthens bones. But think of it as the light switch that turns on the system for calcium absorption. Once the switch is on, you need other nutrients to manage what happens next. Without them, you create a surge of calcium in the blood that your body may not know how to handle. That's why taking vitamin D3 alone, especially in high doses, can sometimes cause side effects such as headaches, muscle stiffness, or even kidney discomfort. These are not random, they're signs of calcium mismanagement inside the body. Another problem with taking vitamin D3 alone is that it can create nutrient imbalances. For example, higher levels of vitamin D3 increase your body's need for magnesium, zinc, and vitamin K2. Magnesium is needed to activate vitamin D3, converting it into its usable form called calcitriol. Without enough magnesium, your vitamin D may stay inactive, meaning you're taking it but not truly benefiting from it. At the same time, without vitamin K2, the calcium that D3 helps absorb will remain in your bloodstream, circulating without guidance. That's where calcification and stiffness begin. So vitamin D3 without these cofactors is like running an engine without oil. It may work for a while, but eventually the system wears down. It's also worth mentioning that your body's ability to use vitamin D3 efficiently depends on other factors like liver and kidney health, since these organs help activate vitamin D. People with sluggish liver function or kidney issues often don't get the full benefits of D3, even when taking it regularly. That's why supplementing smartly means more than just buying a capsule. It means understanding the entire system, how nutrients interact, how they're metabolized, and what cofactors they need to work properly. The takeaway here is that vitamin D3, while incredibly beneficial, is not the full story. It's a powerful tool, but only when used correctly. Taking D3 in isolation can be compared to pressing the gas pedal without having proper control of the steering wheel. It gives your body energy and absorption power, but without guidance, that power can cause damage instead of healing. The key is balance. Vitamin D3 should always be taken as part of a nutrient combination that supports its function, ensures proper calcium metabolism, and prevents unwanted side effects. So when people ask if they should take vitamin D3 for their health, the answer isn't just yes or no. The real answer is take it intelligently. Take it with the nutrients that help your body use it correctly. Your body is an incredibly complex, self-regulating system. It doesn't work on single vitamins. It thrives on synergy. Vitamin D3 is just one part of that synergy, and when understood properly, it can unlock tremendous health benefits safely and effectively. Now that we've established how vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption, it's time to understand the second half of the story, the part that most people overlook, vitamin K2. While vitamin D3 opens the door for calcium to enter the bloodstream, vitamin K2 acts as the traffic controller, ensuring that calcium ends up in the right places, your bones and teeth, and not in the wrong ones, like your arteries, joints, or kidneys. Without vitamin K2, calcium doesn't have direction. It simply circulates aimlessly through the blood. And over time, it can begin depositing in soft tissues. This is one of the major reasons why people who take vitamin D3 for years sometimes develop calcification problems or cardiovascular stiffness, even though they think they're supporting bone health. Vitamin K2 is a fat-soluble vitamin that performs a crucial task in calcium management. Its main job is to activate two proteins that are essential for calcium regulation: osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein. Osteocalcin is the protein responsible for binding calcium and incorporating it into the bone matrix, making your bones stronger and denser. Matrix GLA protein, on the other hand, prevents calcium from sticking to the walls of your arteries and blood vessels. Without sufficient vitamin K2, these two proteins remain inactive. That means calcium doesn't get properly deposited into the bones, and instead it lingers in your bloodstream, where it can harden arteries or contribute to kidney stones. Think of vitamin K2 as the delivery manager for calcium. If D3 loads the trucks with calcium, K2 tells them exactly where to unload it. Without K2, those trucks might dump calcium anywhere, leading to serious long-term issues. Research has shown that populations with higher intake of K2, such as those who consume fermented foods like natto, have significantly lower rates of heart disease and osteoporosis. This is because their calcium is being managed properly, their bones stay strong, while their arteries stay flexible. The problem is that modern diets are severely lacking in K2. In nature, vitamin K2 is found mostly in grass-fed animal products, egg yolks, and fermented foods. But today's processed low-fat diets have stripped away much of this nutrient. As a result, even people who get plenty of vitamin D from sunlight or supplements may not be fully benefiting, because without K2, that calcium is not being properly directed. Many people unknowingly suffer from what could be called hidden calcification, a slow buildup of calcium in arteries that goes unnoticed until problems arise years later. It's important to understand that vitamin K2 is not the same as vitamin K1. While K1 is found in green vegetables and helps with blood clotting, K2 is the form that specifically manages calcium metabolism. Within K2, there are several subtypes, but the most effective and bioavailable is MK7, which stays active in the body for up to 3 days, ensuring a steady, long-term regulation of calcium. This is why MK7 supplements are preferred for cardiovascular and bone health. They offer sustained activity and better absorption. When vitamin K2 is working properly alongside vitamin D3, you get the best of both worlds. D3 ensures that calcium is absorbed efficiently from your diet or supplements, while K2 ensures that calcium is delivered to your bones, where it strengthens the structure and prevented from depositing in your arteries. This balance not only supports bone density, but also protects your cardiovascular system. Studies have shown that people with higher K2 intake have up to 50% lower risk of arterial calcification, heart attacks, and bone fractures. That's a powerful statement about the importance of synergy between these two nutrients. The process of calcium regulation is delicate and continuous. Every time calcium enters your bloodstream, your body must decide what to do with it, whether to store it, use it, or remove it. Without K2, this decision-making process is flawed and calcium control becomes chaotic. This is why people who take calcium supplements without K2 often face issues like stiffness, joint pain, or even bone spurs. Their calcium isn't being managed correctly, so it accumulates where it doesn't belong. But when K2 is present, your body intelligently redirects calcium to the right places. It acts almost like a built-in defense mechanism, preventing your tissues from turning rigid with age. One of the most important aspects of vitamin K2's role is its effect on bone building. By activating osteocalcin, K2 ensures that the calcium you consume is locked into the bone matrix, enhancing strength and flexibility. This is especially critical for aging adults, women after menopause, and anyone dealing with bone density loss. K2 doesn't just strengthen bones, it improves bone quality, reducing brittleness and fractures. So, when you take vitamin D3, think of it as step one. It gets calcium into the system. But vitamin K2 is step two. It ensures calcium is managed correctly. Ignoring K2 while taking D3 is like installing plumbing in your home without any valves to control the flow. You may get water, but eventually you'll have leaks and damage. Similarly, without K2, your body may absorb calcium efficiently, but it won't distribute it properly. The takeaway is clear. Vitamin D3 and K2 must always work together. One increases absorption, and the other provides direction. The combination of these two creates a natural protective system that supports both bone health and cardiovascular wellness. When you use them together, calcium becomes your friend, strengthening your bones, keeping your arteries flexible, and supporting the vitality of your entire body. Now, let's look at the third essential piece of this nutritional puzzle, magnesium glycinate. While vitamin D3 and K2 get most of the attention, magnesium is the silent force that makes everything work correctly behind the scenes. Without enough magnesium, your body cannot properly activate vitamin D3 no matter how much you take. This is because magnesium is required in several steps of vitamin D metabolism. It helps convert the inactive form of vitamin D into its biologically active form called calcitriol, which is the version your cells actually use. In simple terms, magnesium is the spark plug that turns the key on vitamin D's engine. Without it, the car might look fine, but it won't run. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, affecting everything from energy production and nerve function to muscle relaxation and heart rhythm. When you increase your vitamin D3 intake, your body uses even more magnesium because vitamin D3 supplementation accelerates calcium absorption and metabolism. This process is energy intensive and magnesium dependent. So, as you take more D3, your body's magnesium reserves are quickly depleted. That's why many people who start vitamin D3 supplements begin to experience strange symptoms like muscle cramps, insomnia, headaches, or heart palpitations. These aren't side effects of vitamin D3 itself. They're signs of magnesium deficiency triggered by increased nutrient demand. When magnesium levels are low, the body's ability to regulate calcium is impaired. Calcium starts to accumulate in soft tissues, blood vessels, and muscles, leading to stiffness, cramping, and sometimes even arrhythmias. Remember, calcium contracts muscles, while magnesium relaxes them. Without enough magnesium, your muscles remain in a constant state of tension. This is why magnesium is sometimes called the relaxation mineral. It calms your nervous system, eases muscle tension, and promotes better sleep. But beyond that, it plays a direct biochemical role in ensuring vitamin D3 and K2 can perform their jobs effectively. There are many forms of magnesium supplements, but magnesium glycinate is particularly important here. It's bound to the amino acid glycine, which improves absorption and reduces the chances of digestive discomfort. Unlike some other forms of magnesium, such as magnesium oxide or citrate, glycinate doesn't cause diarrhea or stomach upset. It's gentle on the digestive system and highly bioavailable, meaning your body can actually use it efficiently. Glycine, the amino acid it's attached to, also has calming properties, supporting better sleep quality and reducing anxiety. This makes magnesium glycinate ideal for those who want both physical and mental relaxation while improving nutrient balance. When magnesium is present in adequate amounts, it ensures that vitamin D3 can be converted and used properly. It also prevents the buildup of excess calcium in soft tissues by regulating the enzymes responsible for calcium transport. In other words, magnesium acts like a moderator. It keeps calcium under control, preventing overactivity that can lead to calcification. You can think of magnesium as the brake in the system, while vitamin D3 and K2 act as the accelerators. Without the brake, the whole system can run out of control. Another important role magnesium plays is in ATP production, the energy currency of your cells. Without magnesium, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, can't be activated. Every cell in your body depends on this energy to function. So magnesium deficiency doesn't just affect your bones and muscles, it affects your overall energy, focus, and mood. Many people notice that when they start taking magnesium glycinate regularly, they sleep better, feel calmer, and have more stable energy levels throughout the day. If you take vitamin D3 and K2 without magnesium, you may notice certain imbalances creeping up over time. You might feel tension in your neck or legs, struggle to fall asleep, or feel restless even after resting. These are subtle signs that your body is craving magnesium. This is especially common in people who consume caffeine, alcohol, or processed foods, because these all deplete magnesium stores rapidly. Stress also burns through magnesium reserves at a surprising rate, leaving many people deficient without realizing it. The modern diet doesn't help either. Industrialized farming has stripped much of the magnesium from the soil, which means even the healthiest foods may not contain enough. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and avocados are good sources, but even with a clean diet, it's easy to fall short. That's why supplementing with magnesium glycinate is one of the most effective ways to restore balance. When vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium glycinate work together, the effects are powerful. D3 increases calcium absorption, K2 directs it, and magnesium ensures it's done safely and efficiently. Magnesium keeps your heart rhythm steady, your muscles relaxed, and your nervous system balanced, all while supporting vitamin D3 activation. The synergy of these three nutrients is what transforms them from ordinary vitamins into a complete system of bone, muscle, and cardiovascular support. So, magnesium glycinate isn't optional, it's essential. Without it, vitamin D3 can't fully do its job, calcium can go rogue, and your body's delicate mineral balance begins to shift in the wrong direction. By making sure magnesium glycinate is part of your daily routine, you give your body the foundation it needs to use vitamin D3 and K2 the right way, safely, effectively, and in harmony with your natural biology. When you combine vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium glycinate, something remarkable happens inside the body, a level of biochemical harmony that no single nutrient can achieve on its own. Each one of these nutrients plays a unique role, but when they work together, they create a powerful synergy that amplifies their individual effects. This trio supports your bones, heart, muscles, nerves, and immune system all at once, not through artificial stimulation, but by restoring the body's natural balance. When you understand how they interact, you realize why taking them together makes so much sense and why separating them can lead to nutrient confusion and even potential health issues. Let's begin with vitamin D3. As mentioned before, it is the gatekeeper that allows calcium to enter your bloodstream from the food you eat or the supplements you take. Without D3, calcium absorption can drop significantly, leaving you vulnerable to weak bones, low energy, and a compromised immune system. But D3's power comes with a catch by itself. It can raise calcium levels in the blood without ensuring proper distribution. That's where vitamin K steps in, acting as the traffic director that makes sure the calcium goes exactly where it should. It activates proteins that guide calcium into your bones and teeth while preventing it from building up in arteries and other soft tissues. Now, this partnership between D3 and K2 is vital, but it's incomplete without magnesium. Magnesium acts as the stabilizer and facilitator in this process. It ensures that vitamin D3 is converted into its active form and that the calcium metabolism system doesn't become overstimulated. When magnesium is present in optimal amounts, it allows both D3 and K2 to work more efficiently while preventing side effects like muscle cramps, heart palpitations, or calcification. It also relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and balances nerve function. So, in essence, D3 provides the raw material, K2 gives it direction, and magnesium ensures the entire system runs smoothly. When these three nutrients are taken together, your body can maintain calcium homeostasis, the delicate balance between calcium entering and leaving cells. This equilibrium is critical for bone strength, cardiovascular health, and even proper nerve transmission. If calcium levels are too low inside the bones, they become fragile and porous. If calcium levels are too high in the bloodstream, it begins depositing in places where it shouldn't, such as artery walls, heart valves, and soft tissues. The combined action of D3, K2, and magnesium prevents both extremes. Calcium gets absorbed efficiently, directed correctly, and managed safely. This trio also supports your energy metabolism and hormonal balance. Magnesium, being a key component of ATP production, ensures that your cells have the energy to perform all these regulatory tasks. Vitamin D3 acts as a hormone itself, influencing over 200 genes related to immune response, cell repair, and mood regulation. K2 enhances these benefits by keeping calcium in check, ensuring that the metabolic environment remains stable. Together, they don't just build bones, they build balance. You'll notice improvements not just in physical resilience, but also in your sense of calm, focus, and stamina. There's also a profound cardiovascular advantage in this nutrient synergy. One of the silent threats of modern health is arterial calcification, the gradual hardening of arteries due to misplaced calcium. When vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption, but K2 and magnesium are missing, this risk rises. However, when all three are present, calcium is efficiently used to strengthen bones instead of stiffening arteries. The arteries stay flexible, the heart pumps more efficiently, and circulation improves naturally. This is why people who maintain optimal levels of D3, K2, and magnesium often report better energy, endurance, and fewer episodes of muscle tension or fatigue. Another layer of synergy exists within the nervous system. Magnesium helps regulate neurotransmitters and calms overactive nerve activity, while D3 supports serotonin production and mood regulation. Together, they promote better sleep, sharper focus, and emotional stability. K2 indirectly supports this by ensuring smooth blood flow to the brain and preventing microcalcifications that could impair cognitive function over time. In this way, their partnership extends far beyond bones. It reaches into your brain, heart, and overall vitality. When you think about it, nature designed nutrients to work in systems, not in isolation. The body doesn't use them as separate entities. It integrates them into complex pathways that depend on one another. Taking one nutrient without its partners is like trying to play a symphony with only one instrument. The sound might exist, but it lacks harmony and depth. When you take D3, K2, and magnesium together, the body receives all the signals it needs to create balance at the cellular level. It's like giving your system the sheet music, the instruments, and the conductor all at once. The results of this synergy become visible over time. Bones become denser and stronger. Muscles recover faster. Sleep deepens. The heart feels lighter. You feel a sense of calm energy rather than fatigue or restlessness. And the best part is that this combination works naturally with your physiology. It doesn't force your body to do anything unnatural. It simply gives your cells the right tools to function as they were designed to. So, the synergy of vitamin D, 3K2, and magnesium glycinate is not just a supplement strategy, it's a science-backed formula for restoring balance. It represents a shift from isolated nutrient thinking to holistic nourishment. When you take these three together, you're not just supporting one part of your body, you're optimizing the whole system, building resilience from the inside out.